All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 135-pound division where Gervonta Davis has some information leaked by Lamont Roach in an interview between he and Andre Ward, in which Lamont Roach implied several things about Gervonta Davis that I thought was very interesting, considering all the other conversations we had around that fight before it happened. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. Andre Ward interviewed Lamont Roach, did an excellent job as usual on All the Smoke podcast. And two things were said by Lamont Roach that I want to talk about in this video because I think that it really has impact on the next fight, but also it really does speak a lot about the sport of boxing and some of the things and expectations that were set ahead of that fight. Now, before I do that, though, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you so much for your continued support. It is how we're able to do the channel through the super chats, through the super thanks of videos like this. It really does keep us moving. But let's get into this because Lamont Roach was asked by Andre Ward about Gervonta Davis's punching power. And he was also asked about his strength. And Lamont Roach said that Gervonta Davis was too small. And when asked about whether or not Gervonta Davis was in shape or not, he said, do the little whisper, like, I hope he thinks he was in shape. Like Gervonta Davis was not really in shape. And this is something Lamont Roach is saying. Also implying that Gervonta Davis may not have had the best camp in the world because he was going this way or that way, doing this thing, doing that thing, had all kind of distractions, and says, hey, man, those things could have played, a role in the fight. But specifically, the part that I want to talk about was where Roach says that he was too big. He says that he's too big for Gervonta, physically too big. I find that interesting because Lamont Roach was at 130 pounds while Gervonta Davis is fighting at 135 pounds. And I've said for years, Gervonta Davis is a very small guy. Even for 135 pounds, Gervonta Davis is a very small 135 pounder. Small enough where every guy from 130 that moved up to fight him at 135, every single solitary one of those guys were bigger than him. I was ringside for Leo Santa Cruz. Leo Santa Cruz was significantly bigger than Gervonta Davis. Hector Garcia, legitimately bigger, significantly bigger than Gervonta Davis. Even when he won the title at 130 against Jose Pedraza, much bigger guy naturally. But yet you heard all of these echoes from people that claim that they're boxing analysts saying that Gervonta Davis needed to go to 154 pounds to fight Terrence Crawford at 154 or fight somebody at 147, definitely 140, because there's nobody that could ever touch him at 135 pounds. There's nothing. He's just too good. I believe in him so much. No, that was never the case. That is why there are weight classes. Lamont Roach was a 135-pound fighter. He was a 135-pound fighter because traditionally there is no 130-pound weight division. And him cutting from 135 to 130, yeah, that shows some discipline on his part making 130. But the way Lamont Roach is talking is we don't know how long Lamont Roach is even going to be at 140 pounds. I mean, at 135 pounds, he may go up to 140 pounds. Look at what happened with with Devin Haney as soon as Devin Haney moved up to 140. Now he had 2 fights in 140. I think Devin Haney's will have a very, very difficult time even making 140 now. Same thing is going on for Ryan Garcia. You just have a situation in boxing where there's a lot of weight bullies. Now, I'm not calling Lamont Roach a weight bully. I'm just saying that there's a lot of situations where there's guys that are really big for weight classes and other guys that are small for weight classes. And that really comes from the fact that there's so many in-between weight classes. If a guy was 130, if a guy's a small 130, he could fight at 126. If a guy is a big 135, and especially with these the day before weigh-ins, these guys blow up terrifically. They blow up terrifically in between fights. So just to see how this played out and to know that this has been the case, and we were saying this the entire time in the lead up to Lamont Roach and how this was going to be a better fight than a lot of people thought, because Lamont Roach was actually the bigger fighter, a bigger man than Gervonta Davis is, then you can see it. Well, it played out. Now, the other aspect of it that I thought was crazy is the fact that Gervonta Davis might have been out of shape for that fight. Now, I had heard that there was a lot of stuff going on around Gervonta Davis, around his training camp, a lot of distractions, a lot of things, some things that made his coach, his coach is changed. It could very well be that Gervonta Davis was either out of shape or he was overtrained for that particular fight, because you saw all of the different stuff go on around his camp, around the moving of the dates of the fight. When I saw Gervonta looked a little bit drained, a little bit dry. He didn't look really, really full. But we'll see. We'll see what happens in the next fight, because at least we know for sure, at least we know 99% sure that the rematch is going to take place. But when the rematch takes place, hopefully now we will have a more realistic expectation of the people that fight of Gervonta Davis and the people that Gervonta Davis fights. Now, I will say for Lamont Roach's part, Lamont Roach is kind of a quiet guy. Seems like he's kind of a quiet guy. Seems like a nice enough guy. However, I certainly hope he doesn't get overconfident and think that kind of like Gervonta's too small for me. He didn't look like he was in shape. And if he expects that same Gervonta Davis to come back again and he's going to dominate him, okay, he can think that. And maybe that will be the case. But you can also find out that Gervonta may make a couple of adjustments, because the fact of the matter is, even though Gervonta may be too small for him and may not have been in the best shape, Gervonta Davis, in my book, still won that fight. And in the books of a lot of people, still won that fight. And the fight on the books is a draw. So, hey, we'll see what happens next. Looking forward to it. Looks like it's going to be in June, and there's to be some good stuff on the undercard for it. So, looking forward to it. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.